Here's a way to get a lower interest rate and substantially reduce your monthly mortgage payment, even when the prevailing market rates are high. A 2-1 buydown is a type of mortgage rate reduction strategy that helps home buyers lower their monthly payments for the first 2 years of their loan. Here's how it works. In the first year, the interest rate is reduced by 2 percentage points below the original rate. In the second year, the interest rate is reduced by 1 percentage point. On the third year and onward, the interest rate returns to the original rate for the remainder of the loan term. Let's say you used a 2-1 buydown for a purchase with a $450,000 sales price and 5% down, with a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage locked in at 7% interest. In year 1, your effective interest rate would be 5%, 2% lower, so your monthly principal and interest would be $2,295 instead of $2,844, a difference of $549 every month, or $6,588 for the first year. In year 2, your effective interest rate would be 6%, 1% lower, so your monthly principal and interest would be $2,563 instead of $2,844, a difference of $281 every month, or $3,372 for the second year. In years 3 and onward, your interest rate will revert back to the original 7%. The total cost of the 2-1 buydown is always equal to the savings and interest. So in the example we just covered, it would be $9,960. This cost is added to your total closing costs and is kept in a subsidy account that will pay the lender each month to make up for the difference in savings on your payment. So you may be asking yourself, if the savings is just added to your total closing costs, then why would I want to use this? Well, there are a few reasons. This additional cost to the buyer is often avoided altogether, since most commonly it's covered partially or entirely by the seller, builder, or lender as a form of buying incentive. If you have a savvy realtor and aren't bidding on a highly competitive listing, you may want to consider making your purchase offer contingent to a credit from the seller for the cost of the temporary buydown. Using a temporary buydown is situational and most beneficial when used during a time of high interest rates, or when rates are expected to fall within or close to the expiration of the discounted period. You probably won't want to make your offer contingent on the seller paying for your temporary buydown if you're in a competitive market, or the listing is already priced well below market comps. It's important to note that temporary rate buydowns come in multiple different variations, such as a 3-2-1 buydown, which, as the name implies, decreases your effective rate over 3 years instead of just 2, which is preferable if you're more bearish about where rates are headed. One of the most overlooked advantages to using a temporary buydown over a permanent buydown is that the cost is refundable if you happen to refinance into a lower rate before the expiration of your discounted period. Whatever amount is remaining in the subsidy account that was paid into for the original cost will be applied to lower your principal balance on the newly refinanced loan. So in other words, you don't risk losing money like you would if you had opted for a permanent rate buydown, since permanent buydowns often require you to stay in the loan for about 4.5 years before you're able to break even on the initial cost versus your savings.